Tension between the BJP and the ruling Trinamool in West Bengal threatened to spiral out of control again today when three senior BJP leaders, including the head of the delegation, Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, were stopped from entering a village in Birbhum, where three people had died in clashes just 48 hours ago. Released shortly after, the BJP has found the ammunition it needs to keep up the attack on the Mamata government, while the situation in Birbhum continues to remain volatile.
Senior BJP leaders held by the police as they ventured into West Bengal's violence-hit Makra village, where three people died in the political clash between BJP and TMC workers on Monday. BJP MPs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi and Kirti Azad, along with Delhi MLA Udit Raj, were stopped by the police, citing prohibitory orders under Section 144. The leaders were later released, but the incident has stirred up the already deeply hostile situation on the ground in Birbhum.
हम जो है वो यहाँ पर जो अराजकता हुई, जो बेगुनाह लोगों की हत्याएं हुई, लोगों के घर जला दिए गए, लोगों को जुल्म किया गया, उनको देखने आ रहे थे.
With no arrests so far in the case and with both the Trinamool and BJP holding each other responsible, the detention has stoked simmering rage between the ruling party and the BJP. The incident has also given the BJP ammunition to call attention to the Mamata government's alleged indifference to anti-national forces operating in the state, centered now around Flashpoint Burdwan.
हमें रोकने जितनी ताकत इस सरकार ने लगाई है, अगर उसकी आधी ताकत भी वो अराजक तत्वों और आतंकवादियों को रोकने में लगाती, तो पश्चिम बंगाल का ही भला होता और इनका.
With Birbhum on edge and an investigation currently on into the larger presence of anti-national elements in West Bengal, the Trinamool stands wary of a BJP it suspects of fishing in troubled waters. For now, the situation remains volatile. With Indrajit Kundu in Kolkata, Shujoy, Headlines Today.
The situation in West Bengal continuing to remain tense. This is a story that Centre Stage will continue to track very, very closely. Let's move on to our other big story tonight. Is the RSS now determining and dictating the country's education agenda? Union HRD Minister Smriti Irani today met with top leaders of the RSS to discuss a course correction for the Indian education system. The Sangh is seeking a revamp, with its affiliates having called for changes in the curriculum to better reflect Indian values. At the same time, there's this instance of a letter written by an RSS affiliate from Katni in Madhya Pradesh. In this letter, written to the HRD ministry, SK Jain asks for vegetarian and non-vegetarian canteens to be segregated at all IITs. Instead of applying their mind and determining what the HRD ministry really ought to be doing about this letter, the HRD ministry just forwarded this letter as a copy to all the IITs and asked them to inform the ministry of the action that they intend to take in this regard. Just because a letter came from an affiliate of the RSS, does that mean that the HRD ministry must take that as the gospel? Take a look at this report.
Course correction or a complete overhaul. HRD ministers meeting with RSS leaders has raised questions about the government pushing the saffron agenda. The meet with the Sangh leaders was to discuss the alleged discrepancies in the education system brought about during the UPA regime. But what the RSS actually wants is more emphasis on India's past glory in syllabus. While BJP leaders JP Nadda and Ram Madhav were also present in the meeting, RSS leaders like Suresh Soni, Krishna Gopal and Dinanath Batra were also in attendance. The meeting comes just after the HRD ministry had written to the premier IITs and IIMs, seeking their opinion on setting up separate canteens for vegetarians. The ministry forwarded around 5 letters written in Hindi by a group that sought a bifurcation.
में सजेशन यही पूछा गया कि अगर वेजिटेरियन अगर चाहें क्या उनको अलग खाना बन सकता है, और इसमें सजेशन है, कोई डायरेक्टिव नहीं है.
Political interference in the education system is not new even to the NDA. Could the current dispensation be yielding to influence like the Vajpayee government once did? Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
Ministries receive dozens, hundreds of petitions from various interest groups every single day. It is very unusual for a letter received from the RSS to be forwarded to IITs asking for what action is being taken without the HRD ministry applying its mind. Joining us on our broadcast tonight, Shaina NC, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. With us also Professor Anand Kumar, representing the Aam Aadmi Party. We're hoping in a moment to be joined by SSK Jain. He's the person who wrote this letter in the first instance. Now, Shaina, I am completely baffled by the fact that the HRD ministry would forward to IITs and ask them for what action they intend to take on a letter written by an RSS affiliate. And this comes on a day when there's an RSS meeting, top RSS leaders coming and meeting the HRD minister. Is the RSS now going to decide India's education policy, Shaina?
Rahul, please at the offset clarify. This was a letter which was sent to the HRD ministry. The HRD ministry forwarded it to all the institutes. There is no coercion or force. It was a suggestive. And what was the suggestive? To suggest that if there is a provision to have vegetarian and non-vegetarian separate, there was only a suggestion by somebody who reaches the HRD ministry. The HRD ministry in turn forwards this. There is no coercion, there is no action to suggest that this must be implemented. And please understand,
no, but the letter, Shaina, asks the IITs to get back on what action they intend to take in this regard. One second. When you say, Shaina, one second. When you say that there is no call to action, can I just read out from this letter? The ministry's covering letter asks IITs to inform the Ministry of HRD about the action that they intend to take in this regard. Now that is coercion in a more subtle fashion, but you're asking for action being taken, which essentially means when a letter comes from the HRD ministry, you're asking the IITs what they intend to do. Is that not, Professor Anand Kumar, subtle coercion, where you're being prodded on taking action?
1 second, Rahul.
Just one by one. I don't want both speaking at the same time.
Rahul,
let Professor Anand Kumar come in and make a point. I'm coming back to you, Shaina NC, just next. Professor Anand Kumar.
Thank you. Rahul ji, the central institutions of higher education are autonomous bodies where even the Minister of Human Resource Development has very limited capacity to give them instructions what to talk of RSS or any other voluntary organization of that kind. But it reflects increasing arrogance of power on the part of RSS functionaries, because I go back to Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee's days when there was a Birla Ambani committee report, which was a report of a committee appointed by Prime Minister's office about higher education of India. But when the Central University Teachers Federation protested, even the education minister of that time, Dr. Murli Manohar Joshi, refused to take notice of PMO's special committee recommendations. There is something called University Grants Commission, which has to vet such suggestions.
Okay, you're making an important point, and that point is that the autonomy of the IITs is being infringed. Joining us on this broadcast at this time is SSK Jain. He's from Katni in Madhya Pradesh. He describes himself as a Swayam Sevak and a BJP supporter. He's the one who on the 15th of October wrote this letter to the HRD ministry in the first place. Jain साहब, स्वागत है आपका हेडलाइंस टुडे पे। सबसे पहली बात तो ये कि IITs, वहाँ के कई सारे छात्र, वहाँ के जो अध्यापक हैं वो कह रहे हैं कि इस तरीके से जब आपकी चिट्ठी उन्हें भेजी जाती है तो उनकी जो ऑटोनॉमी है, उनका जो एकाधिकार है ये तय करने के लिए कि क्या करना चाहते हैं क्या नहीं, उसमें हस्तक्षेप होती है केंद्र मंत्रालय की तरफ से, HRD मिनिस्ट्री की तरफ से। इस पर आपका क्या कहना?
मेरा ये कहना है कि शाकाहार से आदमी की मन वचन काया तीनों शुद्धि रहती हैं। आज उज्जवल भविष्य की कामना करते हैं जो भी हायर पढ़ रहे हैं कि देश के सबसे बड़े शिखर के लोग हैं। अगर उन लड़कों का खान पान खराब हो जाएगा जिनको नहीं खाना,
वो सब साथ में बैठ के खाएंगे, तो उनका एक बहुत मानसिकता बदलती है। और जितना अपन
सर एक सेकेंड, जब वेजिटेरियन और नॉन वेजिटेरियन लोग साथ में खाना खाते हैं, कोई वेजिटेरियन को जबरदस्ती करके थोड़ी कह रहा है कि आप भी नॉन वेज खा लो।
अरे भाई एक बात बताओ, आप खान पान जैसा खाओगे वैसे आपके आचार विचार होंगे कि नहीं होंगे? आप तामसी भोजन
सर खाने पीने से आचार विचार का क्या लेना देना? एक सेकेंड, मेरे को अधिकार है, अगर मैं नॉन वेजिटेरियन हूँ ये मेरा अधिकार है, आप वेजिटेरियन है ये आपका अधिकार है। आप क्यों बता रहे हैं किसको कि क्या खाना चाहिए, क्या पीना चाहिए?
किसी जीव की हत्या करके आप, अगर आपके यहाँ खाद्यान्न नहीं हो, आपका देश इतना सामर्थ्य नहीं होगी जहाँ खाद्यान्न हो, तब आप वो करें, कोई दिवस हो तो करें। और जब अपने यहाँ खाद्यान्न प्रोटीन सारी मात्रा उसमें है, तो अपन क्यों किसी जीव की हत्या करके अपन मांस खाएं?
देखिए ये तो पूरी वेजिटेरियन और नॉन वेजिटेरियन डिबेट पे आ जाता है। पॉइंट वो नहीं है, पॉइंट ये है कि आप and I want to go across to Shaina because Mr. Jain has said what he had to and he's really put this in context, Shaina. Now he has a view, he's entitled to that view, I respect that view, but why should, just because he works with the RSS, why should the HRD minister come under pressure, forward his letter as is to the IITs, asking them for what action they intend to take? Surely IITs, which produce the sharpest students in the world, have the right and the wisdom to decide whether their veg, non-veg canteen should be segregated or joined.
But absolutely, Rahul, I think you've missed the point. This is just a suggestion. It is the directive. If it was a directive, if it was coercion and force, then the HRD ministry would have said that you must have vegetarian and non-vegetarian.
One second, it's not that simple.
What has the
Shaina,
HRD
it's not that simple.
done?
If Professor Anand Kumar writes a letter to Smriti Irani tomorrow, will the officer in charge forward that letter to everyone and ask them for what they intend to do in this regard? Surely not.
If it is a suggestion which is public, I can't believe you're making a mountain out of a molehill. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. If it is a suggestion that echoes public sentiment, it is for the institute.
Okay, let me put that question to Anand Kumar. That here is a reasonably acceptable solution, argues Shaina NC. Professor Kumar, she says most people in this country who are vegetarian would rather stay away from those who are non-vegetarian, and therefore if someone suggests he's not suggesting don't serve non-vegetarian food. He's just saying have separate canteens for vegetarian and non-vegetarian people. This is a perfectly sensible suggestion, and all that the HRD ministry has done is forwarded this suggestion to the IITs, not forced them to act. Is that acceptable in your view, sir?
No, in my understanding, IITs have the capacity to deal with citizen suggestions as guardians, as voluntary organizations, as pro-vegetarian or pro-non-vegetarian movements, but the role of ministry is in question. If Human Resource Development Ministry becomes a post office which starts circulating letters of ABC without any legitimacy or authority of the constitutional variety, then it is going to become a center of only message forwarding, and there is a need to discriminate between their role and their duties. RSS-backed suggestions are given an extra weightage. This present Minister of Human Resource Development...
let Shaina respond to that. That really RSS-backed suggestions are taken more seriously than suggestions coming from elsewhere, essentially charging that the education policy is being determined by RSS leaders, given also the fact that today various affiliates of the RSS actually had a meeting with the HRD ministry where they discussed course correction, what should really the agenda for India's primary and senior education be.
The RSS is a nationalistic organization that promotes nothing but nation building. If it makes a suggestion, presuming to the HRD ministry that inculcate better value systems, inculcate moral training in courses, I think it's a proactive suggestion.
No, but shouldn't the HRD ministry, Shaina, apply its mind before forwarding that suggestion to IITs? Now, there are two things. One, you essentially, Shaina, you essentially, Shaina, Professor Anand Kumar argues that when such a letter comes, it almost seems as if the HRD ministry believes that the IITs are not capable of taking this decision for themselves.
Certainly, and this is where our
Just 1 second,
concern
Anand
is.
Kumar.
Now
Let
RSS
China
is
respond. I'm coming
moving.
back to you.
Has
China.
not suggested hundreds of other suggestions that have come from hundreds of other people. How do you know that the HRD ministry has not given hundreds of other suggestions from hundreds of other people that have come? Does that mean it's a directive? Does that mean it's a coercion and force? Or does it mean that it's a suggestion for the institute to decide as to whether they feel it's a befitting suggestion
No, but
or
you
not?
make it seem as if
Please
it's just a
understand,
suggestion.
this whole
What you
out of
ignore
the
is this
context
crucial
argument.
line in this
When
letter,
you
China, that they're
attribute
asking.
anything that
No,
is
1 second,
remotely
China.
connected to the
They're asking,
RSS
please
as
inform
wrong
about
is not factually
please
correct.
inform the ministry about the action you intend to take in this regard. This is not a suggestion. This is more than a suggestion, China.
Rahul, there are so many suggestions that come to the HRD ministry. The ones which they feel have a legitimate argument or have a sense of rationale or echo a public sentiment, it is the prerogative of the ministry to send it to the institute. It is the prerogative of the institute to accept or decline. There is no sense of coercion or force. So please don't deflect this argument to something which is not factually
Okay,
true.
I must also tell
The
you that
fact
after
is
this
that if the
suggestion was
RSS
received,
has even brought
after
up
this
a
suggestion was
about
received,
bringing
IIT
up
Delhi
a
has stopped
positive
serving
impact
non-vegetarian
vis-a-vis
food
education. I
at
think
its
you should
mess.
take it in positive spirit.
Over there, students were demanding that vegetarian food, the cost for vegetarian food and non-vegetarian food was the same. Students demanded that the cost for vegetarian food be reduced. Instead, non-vegetarian food is no longer available at IITs. Now, the reality, Professor Anand Kumar, seems to be that while China is correct in saying that they haven't forced you to act, but when it comes from the HRD ministry, given the kind of sycophancy that exists in India, it's virtually taken as a call to action. Is that fair to suggest? That it's taken as a call to action if it comes from the Mantriji and from the ministry?
Well, I have worked with a central university and I know the value of letters which are forwarded by HRD to central universities and IITs. It is an indirect way of asking them to take it as a priority communication. When it is suggested that please report back what you have done, it is an indirect way to say please do something about it. Saina ji is trying to be innocent, or maybe she doesn't know how ministries work. They have hardly taken notice of other organizations' initiative, whether it is about communal harmony, gender justice. Even Supreme Court of India has asked all the central universities and other public institutions to create gender sensitization committees. Ministry has never taken trouble to inquire about
I think that's a fair point.
Status of
that
Supreme
because this
Court
came
suggestion.
from an RSS
So
affiliate, the suggestion was taken more seriously than otherwise. There are plenty of other sensible suggestions that are made to various ministries which are not taken as seriously. Shaina, I'm out of time. I'm out of time. We'll be seeing you tomorrow at the big swearing in at the Wankhede Stadium, so I look forward to that. But for the time being, Anand Kumar in China NC and SK Jain for joining us. Thank you. While China and several other people in Maharashtra have been working hard in putting together the big swearing in for the new Maharashtra Chief Minister, there's a big controversy brewing with the Shiv Sena now indicating that they will not attend the swearing in of Devendra Fadnavis at the Wankhede tomorrow. Invites have gone out to 40,000 people, including several big industrialists, sports stars, Bollywood celebrities. There's going to be song, dance, lots of tamasha. The Congress is saying that this is a big waste. While the state's finances are in a mess, why put on such an ostentatious show? Right outside the Wankhede on the Arabian Sea, 25 boats will be out at sea with lotuses. Kamlesh Sutar files this story.
The stage is set for the grand coronation of Devendra Fadnavis. Wankhede Stadium is preparing to host close to 40,000 people. Apart from Prime Minister Modi and the BJP's top leadership, Sachin Tendulkar, Amitabh Bachchan and top business tycoons are expected to attend.
We can see that the stage is being made, the entire arrangements are being done, security arrangements are also being done. Just few hours left for the big day of Maharashtra, for the oath-taking ceremony of Chief Minister of Maharashtra.
The BJP is leaving no stone unturned to make sure Devendra Fadnavis' swearing in it's a glitzy affair. Bollywood art director Nitin Desai is in charge of decor. 25 boats with huge lotuses will be afloat along Marine Drive. and rooms in 5-star hotels have been booked for VIP guests. But Maharashtra's most famous political names, Uddhav and Raj Thackeray, may give the gala a miss. The Sena won't be supporting the BJP government. Party chief Uddhav Thackeray has asked his partymen to stay away.
नहीं मेंटेन हो रहा है तो उस समारोह में क्यों जाने का है?
The incoming chief minister's extravagant swearing in has drawn sharp criticism from the opposition.
ऐसा लग रहा है सरकार शपथ नहीं ले रही है, किसी राजा का राज्याभिषेक हो रहा है और अंततः हम जनतंत्र में, और ये गरीब लोगों का देश है, गरीब लोगों की सरकार बनाई गई है तथाकथित तौर पर, और ऐसे गरीब लोगों की सरकार के शपथ ग्रहण समारोह में मेरा ऐसा अंदाज है कि कम से कम 100 करोड़ रुपए लुटाए जा रहे हैं.
Obviously he doesn't know his maths and he doesn't know what 100 crores is. I'd rubbish such baseless allegations. Obviously the Congress party has nothing left to do. Historic victory where a number 3 party takes over and comes as number one. I can sigh a sense of jealousy and anxiety at their end. So let it be.
But with the Sena staying away from the party and a partnership, the big bash will end in a Maha-minority government. With Amrita Shetge in Mumbai, Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
We'll be in Mumbai all through the day tomorrow, building up to and getting you live images from this big swearing in. The who's who of Maharashtra, several people flying down from Delhi as well, will be at the Wankhede Stadium. It promises to be a big show, and you can catch the best coverage right here on Headlines Today. We're slipping into a break. When we come back in 10 minutes flat, we'll get you all the news that you need to know from across India and the world, and then an exclusive interview with the American ambassador. This is her first interview to an Indian television station, and she speaks about the American plan for adopting 3 cities to turn them into smart cities under the Modi vision for 100 smart cities. And also, will the United States cooperate with India if the Modi government were to plan a strike to smoke out Dawood Ibrahim? Find out.